So, hello student, very good morning to everyone. So, in the last to last lecture, we have started with the new chapter, that is chapter 1.3, pharmacodynamic agents. So, in the last lecture, we had learned the synthesis of tridone. So, this is the general structure of oxazolidine, oxazolidine dione, and this tridone is a derivative of oxazolidine dione. So this is the general structure of oxazolidine dione. It's a five-membered ring containing nitrogen and carbon as a heteroatom. And so this is the structure of your tridone, and its IUPAC name is 355 trimethyl 24 oxazolidine dione. This uh, so tridone, the this tridone is used in the treatment of grand mal epilepsy, and in combination with phenytoin, it is used in the treatment of petit mal epilepsy when other drugs are ineffective. And again, it is also used in the treatment of anticonvulsant. It is anticonvulsant drug, and the side effect of this your tridone is it causes skin rashes, skin disease, exfoliative dermatitis, then blood discrepancies, hepatitis, kidney damage. So these are the side effects of this tridone. And in the last lecture again, we had learned its synthesis, that its synthesis start with your acetone. When acetone react with hydrogen cyanide in presence of suitable solvent, so the uh, nucleophilic reaction takes place. So the nucleophilic addition of the C double bond O to the carbon oxygen double bond. So it's a nucleophilic attack of the CN minus takes place in the first step, and you will get the cyanohydrin. Then that cyanohydrin on reaction with sulfuric acid in presence of your ethanol, followed by hydrolysis and esterification, you will get your ethyl dimethyl glycolate. ethyl dimethyl glycolate Then that ethyl dimethyl glycolate on reaction with urea in presence of sodium ethoxide, you will get the adduct, and that adduct on intramolecular cyclization by the loss of ammonia, you will get oxazolidine dione derivative, and that oxazolidine dione derivative on reaction with dimethyl sulfate in alkaline medium. So for alkaline medium we are using NaOH, so it will react with that sodium hydroxide and your dimethyl sulfate, you will get trimethadone or a tridone. So this is all about the synthesis of tridone that we had learned in the last lecture. So today we are going to learn the synthesis of amphetamine. Synthesis of amphetamine, which is a phenyl propylamine derivative. Which is a phenyl propylamine derivative. So there are two subclasses of this phenyl propylamine derivative, that is phenyl N-propylamine and phenyl isopropylamine. So both these subclasses uh, are used as a antidepressant drug, and they are also used in the treatment of obesity, and they are also used to reduce the appetite. So this amphetamine is a derivative of phenyl isopropylamine. And it is optically active, and the dextro form is found to be more potent than the levo form, and it is used in the treatment of narcolepsy and alcoholism. And the side effect of this your amphetamine is that after prolonged use, it results into a psychotic state of suspicion and paranoia. Psychotic state of suspicion and paranoia. So the its synthesis start with your phenylacetic acid. So the common name of this compound is phenylacetic acid, and its IUPAC name is 2-phenylacetic acid. This phenylacetic acid and this acetic acid will react at high temperature. At high temperature, the acetylation reaction takes place. Acetylation, addition of acetyl group, that is C double bond O CH3. Decarboxylation by the loss of water molecule in H2O, you will get this phenyl acetone. The common name of this compound is phenyl acetone, and its IUPAC name is 1-phenyl propane 2,1. Then this ketone on reaction with NH2OH, hydroxylamine hydrochloride in presence of NaOH. So the formation of oxime, you will get oxime. This N double bond OH is called as oxime functional group. So when this hydroxylamine hydrochloride react with your ketone, this is your phenyl ketone, you will get your oxime. The name of this oxime is 1-phenyl propane 2,1 oxime. 1-phenyl propane 2,1 oxime. Then this oxime uh, undergoes reduction. It undergoes reduction. The reduction of this carbon nitrogen double bond oxime bond to amine bond by using reducing reagent sodium in presence of methanol. So this sodium in presence of methanol, it acts as a reducing agent. So and it reduces this oxime to this amine, and the name of this final product is amphetamine. It's a amphetamine. So its synthesis is very simple. This phenylacetic acid is subjected to thermal acetylation and decarboxylation to give phenylacetone. The this phenylacetone on treatment with hydroxylamine hydrochloride under mildly basic condition, it gives oxime. You'll get this oxime, which is then reduced to give amphetamine in presence of sodium and methanol. So this is the reducing agent, and this is the simple synthesis of amphetamine. So now we'll see its reaction mechanism. We'll see its what? Reaction mechanism. So you know that the reaction mechanism is nothing but it is a step-by-step explanation of your reaction, how bond formation and bond breaking takes place during the formation of product. So that we'll see. So for that, I have to open the ChemDraw. So let me close this. So let me change the page setup. So orientation, I'm changing the orientation landscape, so we'll get large page, so it is easy for to write the mechanism. So in the synthesis of amphetamine, first two acid will react, that is phenyl acetic acid and acetic acid. So I will write the structure of that phenyl acetic acid benzene ring. Then this here CH2 CH2 bond, single bond, it is your O with hydroxy group. So this is your phenyl acetic acid. Phenyl acetic acid will react with your acetic acid plus, so heat acetylation reaction takes place. So what happens when you heat these two acid? So this phenyl acetic acid undergoes dissociation So it dissociate into this phenyl acetate and H plus ion. So I will show you the dissociation, how it dissociates. So this is your plus 2 hydrogen. This will act as a nucleophile in this reaction. So nucleophile. Then at the same time H2 minus O2 minus, here the CO2 is losses, that's why minus CO2 and minus H2. From acetic acid water will lost, and from this phenylacetic acid your carbon dioxide will lost. So that's what is called as decarboxylation and dehydration reaction. Okay. So after losing this you will get the acylium ion. Once this acetic acid loses its water molecule, so you will get the acylium ion. Let me show you that acylium ion. So acylium ion, this is your acylium ion, CH3 C double bond O plus. Now this acylium ion will act as a electrophile, and this will act as a nucleophile. So this carbanion CH2 minus carbanion will act as a nucleophile, and this will act as electrophile. So because this carbon is electron deficient, because it having positive charge and plus it having this electron withdrawing group, so this carbon become electron deficient, and so it can easily attack by the nucleophile, and this is your electron rich species, it acts as a nucleophile. So this carbanion CH2 minus benzyl carbanion, so benzyl carbanion will attack on this acylium ion. Okay. So the next step, this CH2 minus will attack on this acylium ion. The carbanion will attack on this electrophile acylium ion, and you will get the product, that is phenyl acetone. You will get product phenyl acetone. So just now to copy this. So you will get acylium ion. Yes. So instead of this oxygen, just we have to write CH3 and OHCl, hydroxyl amine hydrochloride, in presence of basic medium, weakly basic medium, that is OH. Okay. Now when this reagent, that is hydroxylamine hydrochloride, react with this acetone, react with this your phenyl acetone. Okay, it react with this phenyl acetone. So what happens? This NH2OH having this NH2OH, a nitrogen having lone pair of electron. Okay, so here in NH2OH both oxygen and nitrogen having lone pair of electron, but the oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen, so it will not give its lone pair easily. So this nitrogen is less electronegative than oxygen, so it will give its lone pair easily. So this nitrogen lone pair will attack on the carbonyl carbon of this phenyl acetone. Okay, so this reaction is called as formation of oxime. So this I will show you the lone pair. So there is a lone pair on this nitrogen. So this lone pair will attack on your carbonyl carbon of this carbonyl compound. Okay, carbonyl function. So it will attack on this carbonyl carbon. So let me show you this clearly. This so this NH2 OH having this lone pair of electrons, so that lone pair of electron will attack on carbonyl carbon of your so now so let me control this. Okay, so for our understanding I am writing here this NH2OH. So NH2OH and HCl, that easy for us. This nitrogen lone pair will attack on carbonyl carbon of phenyl acetone. Okay, now this phenyl acetone having this carbonyl carbon, and that in carbonyl carbon it having one pi bond and one sigma bond, so that pi bond will break. So the pi bond will break and the bond pair shift on oxygen. The bond pair shift on oxygen. So in that pi bond, one electron shared by carbon and one electron shared by oxygen. So that both the electron will shift on oxygen. So there will be the negative charge on oxygen, because already the oxygen having two lone pair. Okay, again it has this two electron pair will shift on this oxygen. So there will be the, so it having total 6 electron. Okay, so that's why we are writing negative charge. Okay, so there will be the negative charge in the next structure. The structure will be like this. So just I have to copy this. So the reaction will be here. Okay, now so this NH2OH will join to this carbon. So we have to join this NH2OH. So this is your hydrogen. Okay, now this hydrogen, the red indicates that its valence is wrong, so it means that this nitrogen is now hypervalence. So we have to write the positive charge on this nitrogen. Okay, so positive charge, because the nitrogen having 4 bonds, so normally the nitrogen having only 3 bonds, but the nitrogen now here it nitrogen uses its lone pair to form the bond. Okay, and this bond will break between this C double bond O. Control here. So we have to write O minus oxygen anion NaH2, writing the reagent on reaction arrow. So sodium in presence of OH. So this is your reducing reagent. So the now role of this reducing reagent, role of this sodium is that you know that the sodium having one electron in its last shell. Okay, so it can easily lose its lone pair, it can easily oxidizable. That so what happens that it can oxidize itself and reduces this molecule. So it will give its electron to this carbon carbon double bond. Okay, then this double bond will break. One is the double bond having one pi bond and one sigma bond, so the pi bond will break, the bond pair shift on nitrogen, so negative charge on nitrogen and one electron on this carbon. So the next structure will be look like this. So now one electron on this carbon and negative charge on this nitrogen, negative charge on nitrogen, negative charge on nitrogen. So H plus so this N minus that will take this proton and convert to NH. It will convert to NH. So now the next step, it will convert to NH. I will show you how it convert to NH. Now this N convert to NH. Now again in the next step, when you are having one sodium, that one sodium from solvent MuH, positive charge on this hydrogen. Now this C minus will take this proton C minus will take this proton and convert to CH. Will convert to CH. Will convert to CH. Now, now the next step is Next step is simply the hydrolysis of this NOH bond. So this NOH bond, this is a very big bond because there is a bond between two heteroatoms. Okay, so the it can hydrolyzes easily. It can hydrolyzes easily. So the next step is simply the loss of this OH H2O. After hydrolysis, you will get your final product, that is amphetamine. Amphetamine. You get the final product, amphetamine. So this is your final product, and this amphetamine is used in the treatment of obesity and narcolepsy, alcoholism. So it's a reaction. This is the reaction mechanism. So the first step is simply when these two acids, that is phenylacetic acid and acetic acid, when treated under heat at high temperature, acetylation reaction takes place. So this phenylacetic acid will undergoes dissociation into phenyl acetate and H plus. Then this second acid, that is acetic acid, it takes this proton and convert to its protonated form. So this is its protonated form. And next step is this phenyl acetate undergoes decarboxylation reaction. Decarboxylation reaction. So this bond will shift, this negative charge will shift here, this bond will shift here, and this bond will break between this carbonyl group and CH2, and there is a simply loss of carbonyl group. Same here, this breaking of this bond takes place between carbonyl group and oxygen. uh, there is simply the loss of water molecule and generation of acylium ion. Here the while when this bond break, it will generate the carbanion, that is this carbanion, benzyl carbanion, and this acylium ion. So this is your carbon as a electrophile, E plus. This will act as a electrophile, and this carbanion will act as a acid acid and you will get this amphetamine. So this amphetamine, it is optically active. This amphetamine is optically active because this carbon is attached to four different groups, that is NH2, CH3, CH2 and H. So all these four groups are different, so that's why this carbon become chiral, and this that chiral carbon are optically active. So this molecule having two form, that is dextro form and levo form, but it is found that the dextro form is found to be more potent, that the dextro form is found to be more potent than the levo form, and it is used in the treatment of narcolepsy, alcoholism, and it is also used in the treatment of obesity and appetite. So this is your uh, so its reaction mechanism. This reaction mechanism is easy once you know the basic of organic chemistry. Once you know the basic of organic chemistry, that is basic reaction, addition, elimination, substitution and rearrangement, you can easily write the arrow notation. And once you able to write the arrow notation, I must say that you definitely enjoy the organic chemistry because it is most interesting subject in chemistry. So in reaction mechanism, this phenylacetic acid react with this acetic acid at high temperature. The acetylation reaction takes place. The phenylacetic acid undergoes dissociation. It dissociates into phenyl acetate and H plus. Then your another acid, that the acetic acid, takes proton from that dissociated acid, convert to its protonated form. Then it's taking this taking this hydrogen proton, convert to its protonated form. And next step is this phenyl acetate undergoes decarboxylation. It's simply the arrow notation how this phenyl acetate undergoes decarboxylation. So in this anion will delocalize here, and this bond pair will shift here, and it's simply the breaking of this C double bond or CH2 bond and generate the carbanion. And again same here, what this molecule undergoes breaking of this C double bond. So it will generate the acylium ion. Then this acylium ion acts as electrophile because it's electron deficient species. There is a positive charge on the carbon, and here in this molecule there is a negative charge on carbon. So this will act as a nucleophile, and this will act as electrophile. So remember one thing, that in organic chemistry the arrow will be only from nucleophile to electrophile. So this is the arrow notation. This double-headed arrow is used to represent the movement of two electrons. So this CH2 have two electrons. It shows the movement of two electrons. It attack on this, and it form the bond. That is, you will get this phenyl acetone, benzene CH2 C double bond or CH3. Then this phenyl acetone react with your hydroxylamine hydrochloride, entrance of NaOH. So this NH2OH having lone pair of electron. That lone pair of electron will attack on the carbonyl carbon of this phenylacetone. This carbonyl carbon having two bond, that is double bond. It having one pi bond and one sigma bond. The pi bond will break and the bond pair shift on oxygen. So there is a negative charge. Then that negative charge takes proton. This nitrogen is unstable. To stabilize that, it taking this proton and it stabilizes nitrogen. And there is a positive charge, that means that this nitrogen is unstable. So it taking that hydrogen proton, it's not a hydrogen, it's a proton, and stabilize that. And the next step is you are using sodium hydroxide. The role of sodium hydroxide is acts as a base. So it taking this proton, and simply the bond pair will shift here, and the OH will be the leaving group, hydroxy group will be the remaining group, and it's simply the loss of water molecule, and you will get your oxime, that is C double bond NOH. C double bond NOH. This is called as oxime. C oxime. Oxime undergoes reduction in presence of sodium and methanol. So here sodium acts as a reducing agent and it oxidizes itself, because in the last shell of oxygen it having one electron, it can easily give its electron to this carbon nitrogen double bond. So it giving its electron, the bond will shift, the bond pair will shift the negative charge on nitrogen and generate the carbon radical, and that N minus the nitrogen anion take hydrogen from this your take hydrogen from the solvent, convert to NH. And next step is this again one sodium, it loses its electron, it will give its electron to this carbon radical and generate carbanion. This is your carbanion, carbon having 8 valence electron, here the radical having 7 valence electron. So this carbon radical carbanion take hydrogen proton from the solvent, convert to CH. Then the next step is simply the loss of water molecule, breaking of this NOH bond, and you will get your amphetamine. You will get your amphetamine. And this amphetamine, it is the isopropyl amine derivative, and it is used in the treatment of obesity, and it also used to reduce appetite. That is the person who is not desired to eat, that is called as appetite. And it is also used in the treatment of so it is also used as an antidepressant. And this amphetamine is a phenyl isopropyl amine derivative. It's a phenyl isopropyl amine derivative, and this amphetamine is a optically active because this carbon is attached to 4 different groups. So this will optically active, and it is in a two form, that is dextro form and levo form. And it is found that the dextro form is more potent than levo form. And this amphetamine is also used in the treatment of narcolepsy and alcoholism. And the side effect of this amphetamine is after prolonged use, it causes psychotic state of suspicion and paranoia. So this is all about the reaction mechanism of amphetamine, how the bond formation and bond breaking takes place. So reaction mechanism, and finally, thank you